Hi, so what is communication management and its relationship to project management? Well, communication management manages the flow of all communication, both internal and external, throughout a project. According to Linda Bourne of Melbourne, Australia, a project manager, consultant, and author of the article Targeted Communication: The Key to Effective Stakeholder Engagement, states that effective communication strategies take into account the complexity of the people who work with or benefit from the outcomes of the project, and manages the constantly changing group of people whose support and involvement are essential to project success. So, this ensures project success through proper stakeholder engagement. Communication management is a plan that is done during planning stage, and perceptions are real to the stakeholders, and the information they receive is vital. So we want to present messages appropriately and timely for proper guidance and support from them and from important stakeholders. Some find it even appropriate for dedicated persons to provide public relations or sensitive information about the project to certain stakeholders or groups. So PMs are responsible for all communications, internal and external, throughout their project. So the three stages of communication management involve planning, managing, and monitoring the plan. So different kinds of plans include communication plan by item. So some elements of this would be the item or event, so like a kickoff or a training event, the purpose, the purpose is for it, the audience, who will be receiving this communication about this event. So the date or frequency it'll occur, who's responsible for it, and maybe the who would authorize it to be released. Communication plan by person includes elements such as stakeholder name, so who needs to know the information, their title, their project role, and how they're related to the project, and the item event that they need to know about, and maybe even special instructions. Anything that makes them the communication more effective to that person would be under special instructions. So managing the communication plan looks like what are some of the variables to consider when communicating with the project team and making sure they understand certain communication aspects. So the level of detail when discussing is high. And so the level and complexity of the information, you have to understand the level and complexity, who you're speaking with, how it may need to be formatted. So that also runs into the best methods to run a team meeting and to get your message across and your information across to who it needs to get across in the best manner. So simplicity helps. There are also four key elements of running an efficient team meeting. It is prepare, communicate, facilitate, and wrap it up. So prepare ahead of time, of course, like what it says. What do you need to run the meeting successfully without flaws? I mean, everyone has flaws, but what can you do to make sure it runs smoothly and on time as well? Communicating, so invite them to ask questions in advance and let them know why they need to be at that meeting. Facilitating, to stay on time, again, sticking to the timeline and respecting your time as well as others. And also be mindful and let everyone feel heard at the same time. Everything can be discussed at the appropriate timing, and then wrap it up. So getting and touching on the action items of the meeting and the next steps is really essential with getting that communication across of what the meeting was about. So what is a communication blocker? It's anything such as the behaviors, attitudes, actions. They can be unknown even, that inhibits effective communication between the teammates or stakeholders, and why it's so important to try to avoid these communication blockers, to make them known between teammates and individuals communicating, so you can lead to the most optimal outcome, is because blockers can often lead to permanent loss of communication between parties. So it could lead to project failure because it may ruin trust, and team management and stakeholder management are both very vital in project success. So, monitoring the communication plan would look like having a reward system in place, a point system, a benchmarking system to make sure that performance and communication flows as it should to support project success. So, the best way to communicate with the team is always open communication. Discussing issues should always be open and allowing for the flow of opinions and ideas across other teams as well. So and also management. So just an open space to show any concerns or issues, and that's how issues are found quickly. Is if everyone can feel comfortable with sharing ideas and their what they experience. And so, as a PM, how do you determine the best method to praise or discipline team members? You consider the business ethic. You do things that align with that. And you also find a system that acknowledges both frequent and open positive and negative feedback. So, frequently checking in, making sure the door is always open is really important in encouraging open and effective communication and monitoring how the teammates and stakeholders communicate throughout the project. Thank you.